Hello and welcome to the Caymanas Park Highlight Show. In this week's edition, we'll recap selected races from Saturday, February 19 and Sunday, February 20th. The two-day weekend of racing decided a total of 19 races. Saturday's feature was the Facilities Department Trophy, while Sunday's main event was the Millard Zadie Memorial Cup. Let's begin our recap of the weekend, beginning with Race 1 from Saturday. This was a claiming event disputed over 800 meters or 4 furlongs straight. Chief of State, the mount of informed jockey Robert Hadwell Halladine, was a hot 2-5 favorite.
800 meters, 4 furlongs straight. They're off. Rockdale breaks on the far side. Awesome Cat in the orange beginning to attack across from the far side. But in the center, Chief of State got a fast start and looks to have the lead already as the rider looking between his legs as they come thundering up toward the final quarter. Chief of State, Awesome Cat in the orange now coming up to make a challenge. Rockdale is left out of it along with Explosive Charge in the white cap with the red headgear. Near the stands in the red cap, that's Original Train, 4,000, the blue cap, just toward that one's inside. But Chief of State continues to roll along with that lead. Awesome Cat getting cracks of the stick as they try to get to this leader, Chief of State. But Chief of State is fleet of foot inside the final 16th. It is Chief of State by 3 or 4. Explosive Charge is holding on for second, but Chief of State and Robert Halladine will take the first by maybe 2.5. Explosive Charge ahead of Rockdale, but then 4,000. Original Train is fifth.
Having cruised through the first 200 meters, the Stephen Todd trained Chief of State was made to engage another gear to clock 49 2/5 of a second for the 800-meter trip. Let's continue our recap with Race 2 from Saturday. Horse number 2, Beautiful Bran, was a late non-starter.
And they're off and racing. Jacent Blessing as speed, and Jacent Blessing along with Magical Mood. Magical Mood now goes to right against the rail. That's Runaway Algo, and Runaway Algo passes the 5 in front of Magical Mood racing in second. Jacent Blessing backing out of it in third, overtaken by Trual Sky. Then comes Mr. Mandate, and racing at the back, that is Will the Conquer. They have passed the 4, heading toward the 3, and it is Runaway Algo in front and in charge at the moment. Right there in the second, about 4 lengths behind, that is Magical Mood. About 1.5 lengths in third, that's Trual Sky. A gap opens up to Jacent's Blessing, and also coming on, that is Mr. Mandate. Runaway Algo at the top of the lane, 2 furlongs to the money. Runaway Algo in charge at this moment. Still running a big one, that is Magical Mood. Trual Sky trying his best to deny for second, but they are not, looks as though they won't catch this Runaway Algo. Large and in charge at the moment. Half a furlong to travel, less than a half a furlong. Trual Sky trying to make a race of it. Runaway Algo eased into the end. Trual Sky second, third goes to Magical Mood. Mr. Mandate is fourth.
Asked to decelerate over the closing stages, Dale Murphy's importee Runaway Algo was a safe bet for the 1,200-meter trip. 1 minute 14 3/5 of a second was the winning time, logged by the 1-9 favorite with Shane Canterman Ellis aboard. Saturday's third event was an optional claiming challenge for thoroughbreds 3 years old and upwards.
He's ready. They're off. In the Blood comes out at the back. Nuclear Emma jets off into that lead as they make their way toward the 6 furlong point. Diosa de Oro chasing. In the Blood moves quickly down into third, close enough, if good enough, as they go flashing past the 6. Desert the Genius now begins to make ground, overtaking In the Blood narrowly. A break opens up to Laser Light, and at the back of the field, it's Nala's Bushman. They've left the 5/8 and run to the half mile. Down the back stretch they go, and there's a little battle brewing up front. Nuclear Emma and Diosa de Oro now going at it, and next separates them. Desert the Genius waiting in the dicky seat in third as they go slipping past the half mile. A gap of 4 to In the Blood, 4 or 5 more to Nala's Bushman, and at the back of the field, it's now Laser Light and Dane Nelson going nowhere at the moment. They leave the 3/8s, running now toward the 5/16th, and Nuclear Emma tries to shake loose. Desert the Genius now, the rider looking to have a ton in hand. That's Robert Halladine. They're cruising down on the outside. Diosa de Ora niggled along in third, but they're into the lane, and it is a Nuclear Emma who continues to hold the lead. Here now, toward the outside and beginning to close with a flourish. That's a Desert the Genius and Robert Halladine, but they run toward the furlong pole, and it is still Nuclear Emma by almost 3 lengths. Desert the Genius not responding to the left-hand stick as Nuclear Emma continues to hold the advantage inside the final 16th. It is a Nuclear Emma and Paul Francis. They hold a 2-length lead and will keep it to the line. Desert the Genius is second. Diosa de Ora third. Nala's Bushman has run on to be fourth.
Veteran rider Paul Francis pilots Nuclear Emma to a 2.5-length victory over the 4-5 favourite Dizzy the Genius. Diosa de Oro was third, followed by Nala's Bushman. The 7th event was contested over 1,300 meters and was for native-bred 3-year-olds listed in the maiden special weight category. Jason DaCosta's Sunshine Silhouette, the mount of last season's champion jockey Anthony Thomas, was a 3-5 favourite.
They're up. Lady Joyce gets off slow and is at the back of the field with Stomp the Rhythm as they go flashing past the 6th El Cid and One Like It. They dispute that lead. Sunset Silhouette on the premises. There goes Blue Vinyl rushing up on the rail. Friend of the Family has quickly split rivals, and Friend of the Family goes up now to grab an early advantage, but a slim one, as they make their way now toward the half mile. El Cid is pressing. Sunset Silhouette is right there. One Like It hidden from view on the outside. In behind them, a Blue Vinyl just ahead of a Mini Dewac. The Citadel races next. Stomp the Rhythm is 3 lengths further back. Lady Joyce races next. Sergeant Charge is toward the back, and the Lady Ben is last. They've left the 3. They make their way toward the final 5/16th, and One Like It on the outside now grabs the lead. El Cid continues to hug the rail as they come into the lane. It is a One Like It with that lead. Here is Sunset Silhouette kicking in. El Cid is the one near the rail. The Citadel is the one widest of them all, and now the Citadel takes charge. Blue Vinyl is also asked to close in, but it is the Citadel and Dane Dawkins inside the final furlong. The Citadel out in front and beginning to come away a bit. Sunset Silhouette is left 2.5 to 3 lengths back in second, but it is out in front, the Citadel with Dane Dawkins. Devastating Dane Dawkins win with the Citadel. Then Sunset Silhouette over on the rail. Stomp the Rhythm. Blue Vinyl. El Cid is fifth.
Ian Pisard's entry, the Citadel, was impressive on debut. Partnered by leading rider Dane Dawkins, the Citadel clocked 1 minute 23 and 1/5 of a second for the distance of 1,300 meters. Race 8 was the feature event, the Facilities Department Trophy going 1,900 meters. This was a 3-year-old and up overnight allowance race. Trainer Ian Prasad took aim at a quick double as Big Jewel was sent off as a 3-5 favourite.
1,900 meters. They're off for the Facilities Department Trophy. Money Monster gets away quickest on the rail. Curlin's Affair, although running easy, is close to the pace. Excessive Force on the outside. Big Jewel now moving up closer on the rail as they make their way into that clubhouse turn. Crimson races near the rail, stepping just off it. Gambler is widest of them all, and Chinamax joining Gambler as they share last. But Money Monster will set the fractions, leading up by almost 2 lengths. Excessive Force is racing on the outside. Big Jewel is right there on the rail, slotted in between them and filling the sandwich. That's a Curlin's Affair as these cluster on the lead and make their way onto the back stretch. 4 lengths back to Crimson racing ahead of Gambler. Chinamax just at the back. 6 furlongs remaining in the event, and it's still a war up front. Money Monster just heads the fray, leading up by just over a length. Big Jewel cruising in second. Curlin's Affair has backed out into third, joined by Excessive Force in the red sills. Crimson now begins to creep closer, needing to find 6 or more lengths to get to those leaders. A break up some 4 or 5 to Gambler, and the Chinamax just last. We're about to arrive at the half mile in the facilities department trophy, and the tempo will now increase. Big Jewel throws out a challenge and is asked to get that lead as they make their way now racing up toward the final 3 furlongs. Excessive Forces join Big Jewel and the war is on. Curlin's Affair right there on their tail ends as they make their way to the 5/16th. Money Monster hooks reverse. Crimson overtakes. A break back to Gambler and Chinamax at the back, but they're into the lane in the facilities department trophy. 2 furlongs remaining. Excessive Force, he didn't blow the turn, he made a great turn and has that lead. Big Jewel is the one down against the rail. Curlin's Affair is further back. Crimson now wound up for his late charge, but this Excessive Force is traveling powerfully. He's shaking off Big Jewel, who continues to try to close the gap. It's now 2 lengths or more. Excessive Force and Linton Stedman come bouncing in. They may win by maybe 3 lengths over Big Jewel, then Crimson, Curlin's Affair, Chinamax.
And a short ride by Linton Stedman brought home Excessive Force ahead of all rivals to land the facilities department trophy. The Philip Fiani importee clocked 2 minutes 1 4/5 of a second, going thrilling day at the park and saw 9 races being contested. Let's begin our recap of Sunday with race 2. This was a restricted allowance event going 1600 meters or 1 mile. Leading rider Dane Dawkins was aboard the 7-5 favorite Santorini.
That's the one we're waiting on, Classical Orb. They're off and racing. 1 mile the trip, coming out to the chute, and it is Burn Notice. That's the one that's leading at the moment. Daddy Jones in close attendance in second. 3 lengths away before we come to On the Rail Santorini, right between horses. That is T. Brady, and on the outside, that's the favorite Classical Orb. Behind, Positive ID is about 7 lengths behind. They come toward the 5 furlong point and locked up on that lead. It is Daddy Jones on the inside. Burn Notice just on the outside, passing the 5. Also together 2 lengths behind. That's Classical Orb. Classical Orb now goes into third. Right against the rail, that's Santorini. T. Brady tacking on to the tail of those, and hopelessly out of it is Positive ID. They've gone past the 4 furlong point and head toward the 3. And Daddy Jones points once again from on the right on the outside. That's Burn Notice. Daddy Jones in front. Burn Notice comes back once again. These two battling for it. Classical Orb waiting on them both to fall. Right against the rail, that's Santorini. T. Brady left back a bit and hopelessly out of it. It is Positive ID. They're at the top of the lane. 2 furlongs to the money and still fighting on. Daddy Jones right there too. But here comes Santorini up the middle. Santorini, Daddy Jones still in front of Santorini. It's Santorini in front now. Burn Notice still there. Santorini, the stable companion, fighting for it at the moment, but Santorini traveling the better. Burn Notice not quitting. Santorini skipping on by a length and a half from Burn Notice. Classical Orb is only third. Then comes Daddy Jones.
Under the assertive handling of Dane Dawkins, Santorini completed the 1 mile trip in 1 minute 39 4/5 of a second for champion trainer Anthony Baba Nunes. Nunes managed to complete the 1-2 finish as Tevin Foster piloted Burn Notice to a creditable second place performance. Race 3 was a thrilling event that saw the widest victory margin over the 2 days of racing. Fitzroy Gillespie's entry, No Identity, was a late non-starter.
They're ready. 7.5 furlongs, they're off. A War of the Roses just came out in behind the bunch as they make their way now toward the intersection and leave the 7 with Danny Spud and Ajita matching strides on that lead. Tomahawk is moving fluently and moving up to take them on. I Am a Citizen just in behind them, 3.5 lengths off that lead. On the outside, that's Sen City as they go floating past the 6. Zabratone will be running on late with War of the Roses, and at the back of the field, it is Silent Cat. They're approaching the final 5/8, and out in front, Ajita attempts to go most of the way. I Am a Citizen attacking on the outside. Tomahawk gets a perfect run against the rail, and these three in a very tight cluster as they arrive at the half mile. A break back to Danny Spud. In behind them, a Zabratone with work to do from there. War of the Roses is struggling, and Silent Cat left at the back as the leaders run toward the three, and Sen City has now been taken up and sent into that lead as they go past the three. I Am a Citizen launching an attack on the outside. Ajita has faded quickly, hits reverse and going the wrong way as the field will come into the lane, and it is Sen City in charge at the top of the lane. I Am a Citizen is hugging the rail. In behind them, Danny Spud needing to do more, and Zabratone now beginning his late run, but they're inside the final 3/16th, and it is a Sen City who holds the advantage on the approach run to the furlong pole, flashing past it. Sen City and devastating Dane Dawkins hold that lead and beginning to plunder the field, roaring away from them. Sen City in charge, large and in charge in the end, wins by maybe 10 lengths. It's close. Zabratone looks to get second over Danny Spud. I Am a Citizen maybe in front of Tomahawk.
The Gary Sobrati conditioned Sen City plundered the field to win by a massive 10 lengths, going 1,500 meters. Ridden by the in-form leading rider Dane Dawkins, Sen City stopped the clock at 1 minute 34 and 2/5 of a second. In the sixth event, Mama Sharon Dallin, the mount of Dane Warrior Chief Nelson, was a 2-1 favorite.
Six furlongs. Denzel Miller doing the honors. They're off. Fair start. Party Princess just misses it. Corolando didn't get away that quickly, nor Dr. Gray. Awesome Aviator, Fabulosity, and Mama Sharon Darling all got good breaks, with Fabulosity leaving the 5 just the leader. Mama Sharon Darling hugging that rail. Awesome Aviator races up next. The Grey Kingswood is back and forth as they make their way toward the half mile. Reassurance now beginning to make gains. Vampire Rejection is only 5 lengths off that lead. A break back to Miss Linda Ray and Sir Puddington. It's all eyes splitting those. Corolando is a further 3 lengths down. Dr. Gray has to recover, and Party Princess continues to stay at the back as they run toward the final 5/16. They're there now, and it's Awesome Aviator who has taken charge. Into the lane comes Awesome Aviator, getting cracks at that right-hand stick, but stepping more towards center course. It's All I, right against the rail, just alongside Mama Sharon Darling. Fabulosity in the maroon and the white now chases in the middle toward the outside. It's Vampire Rejection, but it's Awesome Aviator. Abigail Abel, she's working hard. They're on the rail. It's All I now beginning to come forward. It's Awesome Aviator and Abigail Abel battling. It's All I who begins to creep closer, but the wires here. Awesome Aviator and Abby win it over It's All I. Close between Sir Puddington, Miss Linda Ray. Dr. Gray appears to be 5th.
Despite being sent off at odds of 28-1, there was no stopping Awesome Aviator, with female apprentice Abigail Abel aboard. Awesome Aviator managed to repel the challenge of It's All I to post a winning time of 1 minute 17 seconds flat, going 1,200 meters for trainer Marlon Anderson. Race 7 was the feature event. The Millet Zadie Memorial Cup contested over the distance of 1,100 meters.
Field 9 for the Millet Zadie Memorial Cup. They're off. Versatile Vision. It's out at the back, but not far off those leaders. Sweet and Smart races at the back also. As Rassimanuel passes the 5, Generational now picks up a very slim lead over Rassimanuel. Dunrobin is racing near the rail and beginning to make gains as they're about to arrive at the half mile. Generational just the leader, Loose Ball attacking on the outside. Now Versatile Vision shoots through, and Versatile Vision picks it up from Generational. Alexos Lodger slipped down into 3rd. In behind them, Dunrobin racing on the rail. Sweet and Smart is racing out wide. Rassimanuel tucked in between them. Loose Ball is faded toward the back, and El Profesor trails. They're coming into the lane. They're at it now. A quarter of a mile to run. Catch Versatile Vision if you can. Rassi Manuel is over on the rail. Generational now beginning to come on. On the outside, Alexa's Lodge is called on for everything as they drive past the furlong pole. Versatile Vision running on fumes. Here is Generational kicking in. Rassi Manuel is also coming with a run against the rail. Generational just the leader. Rassi Manuel scooting forward. They drive toward the line. It's close. It could be Generational over Rassi Manuel, then Versatile Vision and Alexa's Lodge.
A thrilling stretch duel saw Generational engaged at his optimum by Robert Hadwell Halladine, managing to edge away from Ras Emmanuel. Generational, a half-brother to the speedster Patriarch, completed the victory in 1 minute 7 seconds flat for trainer Rowan Matty. Race 9 was the final event of Sunday and brought a thrilling end to the weekend slate of races. 13 fillies faced the starter, going 1100 meters.
This is the 9th and final. 1100 meters, they're off. Infinito misses it, along with You and I. A gift from Ben goes for that lead with another wave. Zion's Princess in between horses. She's fantastic, racing out wide. Lacrimae joining that tight bunch of horses. De Jour is also running pretty quickly as they charge down toward the half mile. Amila's All of That is racing up next with North London attached to the outside of her as they go racing past the 7/16th. The Pulse overtaken by another wave. Infinito races up next. A gap opens up to Premier Identity and You and I struggling at the back. The strung out field, the leaders arrive at the 5/16th, about to come thundering into the lane, and it is She's Fantastic who brings them in. The rider quickly changing his hold. A gift from Ben now, applying pressure on the outside. Over against the rail, that's Lacrimae asked to run on. Mila's All That is just in behind them with a lot more to find, but a gift from Ben now snatches the lead with a furlong to run. It's a gift from Ben holding on to that lead. She's Fantastic continues to hold for second. Lacrimae is on the rail. Mila's All That out wide, but it's a gift from Ben coming roaring home. A gift from Ben will win it on the Yeovil Pinnock. She's Fantastic second. Mila's All That third. Lacrimae fourth. Another Wave finishes fifth.
Trainer Rowan Matty secured a double as a gift from Ben, partnered by apprentice Yeovil Pinnock, completed the victory by 4 1/4 lengths. She's Fantastic, Miller's All That and Lacrimae completed the top 4. As we close the curtains on another exciting weekend of racing, it was highlighted by Excessive Force's impressive win in the Facilities Department Trophy on Saturday, and Generational's gutsy performance in the Millard Zadie Memorial Cup on Sunday. Saturday saw jockeys Linton Stedman, Paul Francis and Dane Dawkins all landing doubles, while on Sunday Dawkins helped himself to another double. Meanwhile, in the trainers category, Anthony Nunes and Rowan Matty both secured 2 wins on Sunday. This has been another edition of the Caymanas Park Highlight Show. I'll see you next time.